Hey, Trip, love all that you do. I'm 31 years old and I got divorced last year after discovering my wife's infidelity. Immediately after my ex-wife and I split up, I started hooking up with the girl I met on Tinder. I was upfront early on with her about my situation and how I was only looking for a purely physical relationship at the time, but I still ended up hurting her. I guess we both started to have feelings for one another, so I ended it. Fast forward a year later and I reached out to her saying I wanted to see her again. She still has some feelings for me, but wants to start as friends. I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket, but I can't get her out of my head. My question is it possible to start as friends with somebody you used to have a relationship with on the way to starting things up again, or am I just wasting my time? Thanks, I love the podcast and am considering doing some coaching. Cool, man. I hope that you do end up doing coaching. It'd be awesome to work with you. And if you do, just remind me that this question has been answered on the podcast, so I know who you are. All right. So first off, I want to say it's kind of ballsy of you to go back to the girl, having the fact that it sounded like you ended it, and now you want to see if you can start things up with her again. I will say this, one, for the girl's sake and to lessen the drama in your life, if you're going to do this and go for this, make sure that this is someone you're actually interested in a relationship with, or else you're just going to be messing with her head and it's not going to be pretty. And I can speak for a lot of guys here when I say no one likes to go through the process of hurting somebody. It's just a very tough process to go through. So be really clear on yourself. Is this a woman that you really want to try and see again? And actually start something with, not just hook up. Okay? So first, think about that. So, now that you're seeing her again, can you start as friends? Yes, you can. In fact, I think this is one of those different friend zone situations. This is not the friend zone situation that most guys get into when they literally start as a friend and never had anything else. That is, you're really swimming upstream with that one, right? That's really tough. But you guys once had an actual sexual relationship and there was attraction built. So because of that, I believe it's still there in like a seedling form. In fact, dude, she said she still has feelings for you. So I think she's trying to almost slightly reject you by saying like, I'm not going to give it all to you. So this is not a friend zone situation. Again, one of the very small exceptions where if you start as friends, I think you have a very high probability of actually becoming something more. One, because it was there. Two, because she still said she has feelings for you. And three, once you get into a situation like this, what ends up happening is, even if she's being so honest with you and her feelings are very small and she's basically just like, I want to be this guy's friend, she's going to remember who you once were. All those feelings will become rushing back if you go into this in the same way that you went into it the first time, whatever you did to build attraction, which is probably some form of TED, because that's how attraction works. TED being my system for attraction. Even though it's my system, I did not create it because it's just the way that attraction works. So, yes, I believe it's possible. I don't believe you're wasting your time. However, here comes the however. I don't like that you're going back to this woman. Something says to me, the fact that you're going back and you're doing what I call strategy mode. Strategy mode is when you have one woman and you're thinking of all these different ways and strategizing on how to get this one specific woman. Because you're in strategy mode, I almost equate it to you or anyone else being in a scarce mindset. It's like, why at that time, and I know you just broke up with your wife, but still, why at that time were you not that interested in her to be in a relationship to begin with? Is there something about her that you were unsure about? Are those things important? I want you to really think about this for a second. Are there any other reasons besides you just weren't looking for a relationship at the time? Is there something about, or are there many things about this woman who, that you just are not sure about? But now you're just lonely and you're in scarce mentality and it's hard to meet more women. You said you're considering coaching, so it sounds like you don't have the most abundance of women. So I just want you to really think about this. This is a question for you to throw it back to you. Are we truly interested in this woman, or are we just scraping the bottom of the barrel? And I did a whole episode on this recently too, scraping the bottom of the barrel. So I want you to be really clear for yourself. Why are you going back into this? What's the reason?